Greetings, great beings of light. My name is Ishtara. We welcome you to this time and space, this timeless time and space, where we gather once again with the energy of vision, of hope, and of possibility. For all of you, regardless of where you're at in your life in this moment, whether you're in a moment that feels vibrant, alive, successful, on track, and thriving, or whether you feel like you have an inordinate amount of stress, worry, fear, and concern for any variety of reasons, regardless of where you are. The fact that you're here or listening to this later means that you're a visionary, means that you actually are a very hopeful individual. You are here with an energy of promise and of potential for yourself and for your community and for the community at large, meaning humanity on the planet at this time. So allow that truth to filter in and allow yourself to connect with yourself as a visionary, of you striving for the next level of what's possible. And notice how that feels to you. How many of you, by a raise of hands, can feel that energy that, actually, I am hopeful. I do know that there's something more possible than what's being experienced right now. I do feel that sense of deep positivity that I'm constantly working towards. How many of you would agree with that?
Lots of hands.
Wonderful. So acknowledge yourself as a visionary. And being a visionary we're going to encourage you to throw out all the human evidence that you like to drag yourself down with. We're giving you a moment to hopefully chuckle inside, if not out loud. Do you understand that idea and that vision of dragging yourself down with your human evidence? How many times are you bringing back in the stories of the human struggle and the hardships? And it's not that they're not there, but please understand that that is not all of you. If you're a visionary, it means that you inherently have a deeper connection, a deeper natural connection to the light that is the essence of who you are. Allow that to penetrate for a moment. If you are here and you acknowledge that you are a visionary, that you hold an idea for a greater potential than what exists right now, what that means is in your human experience, you naturally are more connected to the light and the truth of source energy as it flows through you. Breathe that in. You have a natural connection to that because it's that vision, it's that hope, it's that deep inner optimism that you know something else is possible that keeps you going, keeps you working, and is evidence of your connection. How many of you like the sound of that?
Everyone.
We could stop right here and right now and ask you to listen to this message that you've heard just in these first few minutes over and over and over and over again, to allow your human consciousness to acknowledge the truth of who you are. So, for those of you who have a pen out, or a pencil or a crayon, whatever it might be. Write down, I'm a visionary. And the visionary aspect of who I am and what I know is possible is because I am connected to the fullest potential of source energy as it flows through me. And allow that to become an affirmation. That you're not saying to hope that it happens, as if it's out there to be achieved. As you say that and acknowledge that truth about who you are, you're expanding your awareness of the connection to source that's already there. Now, many of you who were in the call last night on the Premium Practitioner program heard something similar to this, didn't you? And you in this group will hear something similar to this, because it's a very important energy to embody right here, right now. It's a very important energy to begin embodying now so that you can ride the crest of that wave into the next year. So, as you are connecting with this idea of yourself as a visionary, being more easily accessing the flow of source that's through you, please understand that this is turning teachings that have been in the collective upside down. This needs to be pointed out. Why is it turning it upside down? Because what has been the narrative on this planet? What is the collective conscious narrative that has actually been overlaid into the ascension conversation is that you need to earn your way to your divinity. You have to earn your way into 5D. You have to be worthy to be in God's good graces. How many of you understand that narrative?
Yeah, lots of hands.
And can you see that that narrative that has historically been religiously based has now been overlaid into this ascension and awakening conversation? You better earn your way there. How many of you have felt, oh, I hope I'm going to be good enough to get to 3D. I mean, into 5D. I hope I'm good enough to get to 5D. Did I do it all right? How many of you either know that from your own experience or know that other people who are worried about this as well, right? This is that religious overlay that you need to earn your way into anything. And just as was said last night, it's nonsense. Why? Because you already are that. Your awakening is not climbing another hill and hoping you get to the top of it. And if you slip on the hill, you're not going to make it. That's not what this is about. Your awakening is understanding that this human experience is not who you are. And it's a great idea, but humanity doesn't really believe it yet. You already are thriving. You already are abundant. You already sleep well. You already are neutral. You already are peaceful. You already are joyful. You already are all that you are seeking. That requires a pause, doesn't it? Allow yourself to take that in. Just see if you can say to yourself, I already am thriving. I already am abundant. I already am relaxed and peaceful. I already am in loving relationships. I already am in harmony, compassion, and understanding. I already am clear about the truth of who I am. Now, for those of you who have those brilliant minds that you've cultivated so well that are saying, yeah, but Ishtara, I don't see the evidence of that. I don't believe you. What you're doing is taking evidence from your human existence and using that against your core essence of who you are. Can you understand that? Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, I'm nodding.
So, acknowledge, if you need to, start talking about yourself as two separate beings. Now, we're not asking you to sound like you suddenly have multiple personalities, but what you want to do is be able to say, my human experience is this. And maybe you could say, my human experience isn't peaceful. This human experience that I'm in the middle of is not thriving the way I'd like. But start defining it as your human experience. Are you with this idea? Please start defining it as your human experience. Because at the same time, you can say, this human experience isn't thriving, or it's not as peaceful, it's not as kind and loving as I would expect. And, that's the key word, and I am all that I'm seeking. My inherent energy is thriving. My inherent energy is loving. My inherent energy is clear. My inherent energy is peaceful. My inherent energy is healthy and wise and all that you're seeking. And notice how that feels. What you're doing actually is, as you begin to have this conversation with yourself, you are deconstructing the quote-unquote reality that your human experience is everything. We're going to say your human experience is 1% of who you really are. And that 1% has become 100%, and you've forgotten about the 99%. And when you do the universal spheres, you are not climbing a hill hoping you can gather something. You're dissolving the energetic 1% to reveal to you that which you already are. Do you understand that?
Some people nodding.
Your human overlay of, we're playing with numbers here, but it's this small. It's actually smaller than 1%, but we'll just say 1%. 1% has become your 100%. And you've forgotten about the 99% of who you are, which is potent, which is an infinite creator, which is constantly in a field of loving, kindness, understanding, compassion, trust, abundance, thriving. Thriving's a beautiful word, isn't it? And the reason thriving feels like a good word is because you inherently have that vibration within you. The word itself, in a sense, calls out the vibration within you that knows it's thriving. So what the steps you can take to be able to say, oh my goodness, I've made my 1% 100%. And that, no need to judge yourself for that. It's the human condition, right? Oh, that 1% of me saying my 1% of my human experience, or this human experience, has become everything, and it's distracted me from being able to recognize my 99%. So start paying attention to your 99%. What are you desiring? What are you calling out for? What do you feel is calling you? It's calling you because it already is you. And if it already is you, then you begin to relate to yourself from this place of, I already am thriving. I am clear. I'm kind. I'm loving. I'm joyful. I'm peaceful. All that you desire, you are, because what you desire is available within the field of infinite possibilities, and you are this great being of light who is eternally connected to that source. You are not disconnected. The mythology that there's something you need to earn your way back to implies that you lost something, and as is known, that's the greatest way to control people. But what you're doing is waking up to the fact that you don't need to climb the mountain anymore. You just need to begin to trust that that 99% is there with you. And it always has been. And it always will. And so you begin to refer to yourself as the great being of light. You can refer to yourself as a thriving being. You can refer to yourself as abundant. You can refer to yourself as calm, cool, and collected. Begin to refer to yourself from that 99% and acknowledge there are times when that 1% that became 100%, you're going to need to allow that to settle down and shift your perspective. And maybe one day you're going to say, oh, that 1% that's been 100%, I can feel that it's maybe 50 now. That's wonderful. Because as you do, and as you begin to relate to yourself as already embodying everything that you're striving for, you're magnifying your ability to see and experience that truth of who you already are. Now, this is a very esoteric teaching, but important for now. It's very important for now, not in a desperate way, not in the you're going to miss the boat way, but we're sharing this message of importance to begin to see and relate to maybe just possibly you already are all that you're seeking. And if you start incorporating that and playing with that and writing your notes and saying your affirmations and doing everything you can do to remind your 1% that became 100% that there's more reality in your space than you've related to, you will feel lighter. It will feel easier for you. And as we move into the next year, it will do you good to relate to yourself from that 99%. Because no matter what comes in the world, as you relate to and embody yourself from that 99% place, you have the ability, no matter what the external circumstances are, to thrive. To be in the right place at the right time. To be the support and the light that you came here to be. Because you have yourself in a new energetic balance that's more appropriate to your core level truth of who you are. Play with this and have fun with this. Allow yourself to lift yourself up and become all that you already are. Not become who you were meant to be, but become who you are. So open up to this question right now. See how you feel. Are you willing to discover the greatness of who you already are as a great being of light? Are you willing to discover the greatness of who you already are as a great being of light? How does that feel to you? To open up to that.
Really good.
Open up to that possibility. I'm with you now and always. My name is Ishtara.